In the last video, I began the process of making a homemade neck shim. I shared this video on another social media platform, only to find that there were those that were a bit confused about which direction I was going with this project. They got the impression that I was going to use two stupid sticks, well actually these two stupid sticks, to shim the neck up in order to lower the action. They said they would not allow this to happen and that they would hunt me down and destroy me. Just kidding. They were simply pointing out that a full pocket shim would be best. So I assured them that a full pocket shim was indeed what I was making. With that, here's part 2 of Make Your Own Shim in the final episode of Epiphone Revival. Enjoy. Hello, welcome back. This is part 2 of Make Your Own Shim, your own guitar neck shim. If you haven't, seen the part 1, then you might want to watch that, because then you'll know that this is tapered a certain way to fit into the neck pocket nicely. And this is the heel piece, as you can see, because it's square. This is the neck hole, closest to the neck hole piece. It's rounded off on the edges to fit in there nice and tight. We're going to start shaving these down to get our dowels, if you'll call them that, to to the right height, so we can actually use them as a template to make our shim. But first, I want to glue a handle, if you'll call it that, on this side, so I'm shaving down this way, not affecting my round off there, my routing job, so I can actually hold on to it, because it's kind of tough to hold on to the thing and move it like this evenly. So what we're going to do is take a piece of tape, skinny tape. If you don't have really skinny tape, you can use fat tape and just trim it down. I'm going to take this off here and put it on this stick in question, the one that's to be shaved down, and clean off the edges there. And I leave more on there than I need, so I can grab onto it to peel this off, so I can super glue this little scrap to use as a handle, and I won't affect the piece I'm trying to work with. So we put a little super glue on there, and that's quite a bit, so we're going to kind of spread that out a little bit, trying to keep it away from the edges. So there you have it for the super glue. Set that down someplace safe. I won't glue anything we don't want glued together. And then you just put the handle piece on there, as close to the center as you can get it, and let that dry. Okay, I've already started shaving it, and it was, well, basically the same as this one, which hasn't been shaved yet, roughly at 2.0. Using my calipers to keep track of how much I'm shaving this down. This one is currently at 1.8. So it's getting somewhere. And I want to take this down a little more than half. So it'll be like in single digits. 0 point something. But anyway, the way we're doing this is we are holding on to the handle, holding it as evenly as possible, and just slowly shaving it down. I'm not going to bore you with this whole process. I'll do this one a little less. This one I just want to shave down a little bit. Then I'll put them in the guitar and we'll check it out. Ta-da! Okay, we have the neck clamped on there again with the tapered dowels or spacers, if you will, in there. And you can see, maybe, I'll illustrate here, the thread that I use to check the action here is pretty low. Now remember that the bridge is adjustable, and it's adjusted all the way down, and because this is awfully low, but that's kind of where I want it right now. There's no tension on the neck. This thread puts no tension on it, so when there's tension on it, it's going to want to pull it up a little bit, and then with relief in it and the adjustable bridge, we should be able to get it dialed in. If not, being a bolt-on neck, we can always readjust the shape of our shim. But as you can see, this is set still where it started off at. This gauge here, measuring device, and it is way lower. So when it's all said and done, I'm probably going to want it right about there. So we shall see what happens next. So now it's time to make the actual pocket fit shim, and we'll get on with that right now. Alrighty then, it is time to make a pocket template for this unit. So I removed the neck without removing the threads I'm using for a guide to the action. But we need to have the pocket template so that we can make the shim accurate to the size of the pocket. So what we're using is regular everyday card paper. Mind you, this is just for the template, and what we want to do is tape card paper on there so it doesn't tend to wander and give me an inaccurate impression. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take and gently press around the edge of the top of the pocket here to get a impression of the pocket diameters, which just requires taking your fingernail, just kind of pushing on it. And getting that impression. So what I'm basically doing is kind of micro bending it around the sharp edge of the top of the pocket here so that I can cut it out. It doesn't have to be perfectly accurate. In fact, I'd rather it wasn't absolutely perfect. I'd rather it be a little bit big, so that I can shave the actual piece of wood that I'm going to be putting in there down to an exact shape. So let's see what we got here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's see. You can see it. See how I got an impression of the pocket diameter. So what we'll do now is cut that out, and we'll use it for our template. So I'll cut it out and be right back. Finished. Anyway, as you can see, it is a little bit too big, a little too wide, a little too long. But for accuracy, because I want it to fit tight down inside the pocket when I'm done with the actual piece of wood, I want to cut that a little bit too big as well, so that I can shave it down to the exact shape. So that's how we do that. And as far as the wood I'm going to be using, this is it right here. This is actually maple, I believe, and it's a hardwood. It's a laminate, but it only cost $1, and it didn't cost me anything because this was a party favor from one of my daughter's birthday parties. So I'll be able to cut one out of here, or out of here. So if I mess it up, I got 3 choices here to do that with. So there you have it. The ladybug. Ladybug. Okay, I'm going to massacre the ladybug. Okay, here's the full pocket blank that I've made. I've gridded it as kind of a guide coat. Probably won't be the last time I put a grid on it. But before I do anything, as you can see, it's not tapered yet. Before I do anything, I want to make sure I get holes in it, because if I don't put holes in it now, it might be a little too fragile to try to put holes in later, accurately anyway. So you can see it fits fairly well in there. First thing I want to do is draw a line back here so I know where this thing needs to end. And I want to keep it long like this for a reason that would be revealed when as I'm doing this. So now I've chosen a drill bit that actually fits fairly tight in the hole to mark where this needs to be drilled. So, oh, hey. Okay, we're having some technical difficulties here. I need to hold that in place. Actually nice and tight. And go from the back side with any luck. And put a mark in each one of these holes so I know exactly where to drill it. Can't really see it very well, but I have a mark here, 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 and here. So looks like it's whack off to one side. Might just be that little circle on there that's doing it, but it is what it is. It's lined up with the dealio there. It's roughly the same. Relatively symmetrical, so I will drill these holes and then we'll get on with the whole tapering process. And we're back. As you can see, the holes are drilled. They do look a little wonky, but the holes are wonky on the guitar. So obviously it wasn't a perfect science in Japan in 1979. So now I have it mounted to this metal iron plate, solid iron. Of course, a piece of cardboard to protect my bench here, because that thing's heavy and it'll scratch the crap out of this stuff. I've taped this. This is tape that is sticky. It's stuck to the back of the wood. There's tape underneath that is glued to, they're glued to each other with super glue in this area and in this area. 2 layers of tape. This over here is just 2 layers of tape underneath it. It's not glued because that's going to be the thin side. It might be tough to get it off there because it's going to be pretty fragile when I get it thin on this side. So with that, that's my setup. If you obviously not everybody has a great big iron plate to work with, but a nice solid flat piece of wood would work. 2x4s and 2x6s typically do not work. They're not perfectly flat, but a piece of even particle board, relatively new, not been sitting outside for a month, is even better than other types of wood. or the edge of a countertop like this. The reason it's this far over to the side is because when I shave this thing down, it's going to be wedged this way. If I was to do it over here, by the time I get to where I want it wedged, I'm going to be hitting on this. I'm not going to be able to shave it down to where I want it to. So I need some open space on this side of it to make it happen. And here's the spacers I've made. The dowels. Only needs to come down slightly there. This is the heel piece. And apparently it needs to come down a whole bunch over here. So and this extra over here is there so that when I'm done shaving it down to this thickness over here, I can clean that up real nice at the heel and not have anything sticking out or have anything, you know, frayed at the end of it. So I'll be putting 80 grit on this particular block here, specifically for blocking things, and I'll be switching over to 150 eventually. So with that, we'll get on with the show. Okay, here we are. Like I said, I'm not going to kill you with all the details on this, but just to give you an idea. Now, when I cut this shim blank out, I made sure that the grains were moving this way. This is a laminate, so things may change as we go, but yeah. So I want to make sure that they're moving this way, and I want to always sand in this direction, even if I do like this. I don't want to cross hatch or anything like that. So, but the first thing I want to do is get it pretty close to this, and I'll use the 80 until I'm just about there, and then I'll use the 150 to fine tune it. So let's start off with this edge here. It's going to take a while. It's not going to be something that's going to be done real quickly. So as you can see, I'm concentrating on the edge here and holding it at a slight angle, so I'm not doing a whole bunch over here. Really absolutely nothing over there. So that's basically how it's done. When I get this down to close to this, I'll start going across it like this to bring the rest of it gradually down to a wedge. And being a laminate, I will probably take and give it just brush a coat of watered down wood glue on it to help hold it together, stiffen it. So we will be back when I'm done shaping this unit. There it is, a little potato chipped, but it'll flatten out inside the guitar in the pocket there. But definitely have ourselves a wedge. When it straightens out, it'll be wedged. So we'll try it out on the guitar, and if everything is dandy, it matches up to what I did with the these dealios here, then we will put the screws in it, bolt it back on rather, and get some strings on this thing. And we're back with strings tuned to pitch. Looking good to me. Anyway, new strings obviously, and what did we accomplish here with some basic tools, some craft sticks, and closet clutter. We made a tapered neck shim, and in order to lower the action, and so we're in good shape right now. Since the first video, if you watched it, the bottom of the E string, the low E, was at 6/32, and now remember this is where the bottom was, right here. So that would have put this right about there before. So we've lowered it quite considerably. Guitar is very playable. I played a little bit. Maybe we'll play it again so y'all can hear it. We have all new bridge pins in there, courtesy of the guitar case, and I've cleaned up the fret wires, gave them a little dressing job, and I put a little bit of synthetic oil on the fretboard to preserve its beauty. And so I just have to do a little polishing here and there and get the covers back on, but it's essentially ready. So with that, we will call this one finished. And next we will be doing an Ibanez acoustic guitar that has some major issues. So it's the age of acoustics, I guess. Anyway, that's it for this series. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of it. And if there's any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments. Thanks for watching.